Hi everyone, welcome to Practical Serverless and Microservices with C# course. My name is Muhammad Abdullah, and if you are wonder how to build modern scalable application without care about the server and the infrastructure, then you are at the right place. In this course, we will not cover the theory about the serverless and microservice, but we will do real world practical work. We will fix real business problem with serverless and microservices in C#. So if you are new to this channel, so please subscribe and hit the bell icon to get latest video about this course. So let's start this course. First, I will give you some introduction about the serverless. In serverless environment, you don't care about the infrastructure. Developer only focus on the business requirements and not managing the server. Serverless promise you a build and run application without managing infrastructure. The cloud provider like Azure, Google, AWS handle server allocation and provisioning. And next, we will the journey of the serverless is started in 2014 by Amazon. They first introduced the AWS Lambda, the first serverless solution. Then Microsoft introduced Azure Function in 2016, and presently also Google also provide serverless cloud functions. So in this course, we will only focus on the Azure Microsoft Azure Function. Okay. So next up, why we choose serverless. So there is few reasons, few benefits like it auto scale, like no manual scaling required, and the pricing model for the Azure for cloud is pay as you go. Only pay for what you use, and it's a reliable, secure, and we can only focus on the development, so we can do fast development and a sustainable growth. So this is the few benefits of using serverless. Okay, so serverless equal to the microservices. So we will check this fact. Like in microservices architecture, each component is loosely coupled, independent component, and each component covers some business capability. And serverless is the way to build microservices architecture. So to deliver microservices architecture, serverless is the best option. So this is one example. For example, if you have an application, this is one microservices of that application. A user authentication. In user authentication, we will have like registration function, login function, reset function. So these three component create a user. This is one example of the user authentication microservices. Okay, so next, Azure Function launched by already covered 2016 by Microsoft. Its work as a function as a service, and we can write Azure Function any language like C Sharp, JavaScript, Java. But in this course, we will focus on the C Sharp. So Azure Function also have a capability of integration. We can integrate Azure Function with database, events, workflows, and third-party APIs. So we can easily integrate Azure Function with these technologies. And there is some advanced feature if you want a stateful function, so you can use a durable function. We will see durable function in other upcoming videos. We can also build a CI/CD pipeline. We can monitor our Azure function. We can diagnose. We can troubleshoot. AWS provide this. Azure provide this facility to us to create CI/CD pipeline. We can add logs and troubleshoot any problem in the Azure function. So when you create Azure function, you will select hosting plan. So this is some uh, consumption based flex information about the hosting plan like consumption. It's work for event driven workload, it auto scale and cost effective. So in this course we will use mostly the consumption because it's a true serverless. You can also use, if you have containerized application, you can use the container app hosting plan. It's up to your requirement. So this is some information about the hosting benefit. No infrastructure management, it auto scale and pay as you go model and fast development already mentioned in the beginning. Okay, you can use any language for to write Azure function. Each rich ecosystem and secure DevOps also supported. So for this video, you will first create Azure account. You will set up Azure account. You can write Azure function, any of your favorite IDE like Visual Studio, VS Code, and you will first initially, if you go with VS Code, you will initially set up Azure core tools. So we will create Azure function. using the Azure portal, you will see how we create the Azure function. So first you will create Azure account in the portal.azure.com. Once your account is approved and created, so you will see you will create these resources from Azure. For example, in this video, we'll focus on the Azure function. So to create Azure function, you will search for Azure function. So you can see here Azure app. So first we will create Azure app, like this is the Azure app. So we will create on the create. So you can see here, this is the hosting plan as I mentioned in the slides. We have flex consumption. It's for fast event driven consumption based. It's for event driven workload. Functions premium also for event driven. This is the some like matrix, so it's up to you which hosting plan suits your requirement. If you have a containerized app, so you can use the container app environment. So this is a different workload, different hosting plan. For we will select the consumption because it's a true serverless, and we will use consumption in this video. So you will select this, and the pay model is pay as you go model reward for the consumption. So select. So you will in the basic setting you will select the subscription. You will create any subscription. Currently I have one subscription, and then you will create resource group. Resource group is important. For example, for this course, I created one resource group. This is the resource group. You can see here serverless and microservice course. So each and everything we will keep in this resource group. We will check their billing. We can manage each component of resource in any resource group. So how you can create if you are new to the Azure, then how you will create the Azure resource group. So this is the Azure services. So you can see here, you can also search resource group here, resource group. So this is the resource group I already created for other application. Uh, you will create this create button, and you will select this your subscription. Then you will give any name to this subscription. It will be, for example, project A, B, C. So you will give this name. You can select nearest region to your project or application user. For example, I will select Southeast Asia, and then next you will review and create. So when you click on this create button, the resource will be created. So I will not create again because I already have resource group. So once you create this resource group, then when you come to this basic setting, you will see the newly created resource group in your list. So I have already serverless and microservices resource group, so I will select this. Now next you will give one globally unique identifier for this function app name. So you can your first function app demo demo 2, for example. So this will be a unique identifier for your app name. After that, you will select the operating system. You will select window. If you are using Linux, you will use Linux. Next, you will click on this runtime stack. You will select runtime stack. I will use .NET. You can also use other Java if you are using other technology. So it's up to you. This is the version of .NET. I will go with .NET 8, and this is the region. Again, you will select region which is closest to your targeted user. Okay, so next is the storage. So you can see here, basic one is completed, storage. So Azure function need storage account by default. So you will, if you don't have any storage account, then you will create storage account. Okay, if you are new to Azure function, then how you will create Azure storage account? You will search Azure storage. Okay, storage account. You can see here storage accounts. So you will create storage account. You will click on the create. Okay, so this is basic environment, basic setting. You will select the resource group, and you will give name. Less micro services Okay, so it should be 24 character. And for example, so yes, so this is available. Again, you will select a region. This is the primary service. If you use the storage for Azure file, you will select Azure file. If you want to use Azure Blob Storage, you will go with this. So this is optional. So next, you will create the performance. L- Like I will go with standard. If you need other scenario, low latency, for example, you will select the premium, but it will charge you. But so I will go with the standard. And this is the redundancy. You will I will go local redundant storage. If you need copies of your data to not lose your data, so you can use this option like zone redundant, geo redundant, and this is different type of redundant account types. So for to use the low cost option, I will go with low redundant storage. Okay, so this is used for non-critical scenarios. If you want, for example, backup, so you can use geo-redundant. And if you want to use highly availability scenario, so you will go zone redundant. And if you have a very critical case, critical data scenario, so you will go geo-zone redundant. So this is different of redundancy types. So I will go for with the redundancy. Next is the other one is optional. We will keep it as default. Uh, so you will at the end you will review uh, the storage account and you will click on the create button. So I already created, so I will not create again. So I already have a storage account, but this is I show how to create storage account. So for Azure function, you will need a storage account. I already created one storage account. Okay, so this is the storage account I created. The next option is the networking. This is for like security purposes. To enable public access, you will click on, or otherwise you can off this. And next is the monitoring. You if you want to add logging to troubleshooting, something like that, so you will use this monitoring feature as well. But it will cost you. For example, enable application insight. If you want application insight, you can select yes, otherwise no. So currently I don't need insight for this demo, so I will select no because it will cost you. Next is the development. So you can create the CI/CD pipeline for your Azure function app. You can attach GitHub account, but you will select this option, continuous deploy. If you want, once this is enabled, you can select your organization, the repository you have in the GitHub account. So you can select your repository. Okay, so for example, this is the repository I created. So you can also create the branch as well. So I will go with our deployment. In the other demos, we will create CI/CD pipeline. For this demo, we will keep it simple. Next is the authentication. We will use the default options. And next is the tag. It's good, categorize the resource for you. So currently we don't need. This is optional. And next you will review the application. So you will review subscription they are using, resource group, name of the function, secure default hosting. So this is the information, the option, the detail of the Azure function. If you make any mistake, you can go back to the specific tab and you can correct. So once you review and everything is fine, you will create on create button. So this is how you will create the Azure function app. So I will not click on the create button because I already have one Azure function. You can see here Azure function. Azure function is created. You will see in the list here. Okay, so if you open this, you can check the detail of your Azure app. Please note this point that in one is Azure function app, we can create multiple Azure function. So Azure function is different and Azure app is different. In one Azure app, we can create different applications, different type of Azure function. So once you open, you will see the overview of the Azure function, which resource group it is targeting, what is the status, currently it's running, and location is Southern Asia, subscription and the subscription ID. And this is the domain name of this Azure function. You can also open this. You can see here, this is up and running. on this uniquely, globally uniquely identifier. So, or Azure app is running, and the operating system is Windows, server plan is service plan and runtime. Okay, so you can also check activity. We will cover this in upcoming sessions. You can deployment. This is for deployment. Azure function. This is the functions, environment configuration. In setting time, you can see environment variable configuration authentication. We will cover this in upcoming lessons. Okay, so but this is the basic overview of the Azure function when you create. Okay, so below in this section, in the function section, you will see all the function inside this Azure app. So this is for demo purposes. I created this just for practice. So this is the already created Azure function inside this Azure app. You can see the metrics. You can also see the properties of the Azure functions. This is the notification. So next we will jump into the Visual Studio. You can write Azure function in VS Code and Visual Studio, but for this demo, we will use Visual Studio because it have rich in features. So like debugging and other, they provide a lot of things. So we will open the Visual Studio. So you will select create new app. Like we will create one health check Azure function and we will deploy it to the Azure app we created. So you can see here, you will search. I recently opened the Azure function, that's why it's coming in my list. If you don't see this Azure function, you will search here Azure function. You will select Azure function. Next, you will give a name to Azure function, like Azure function app uh, uh, 2 or something else according to your requirement. Function app and div 2, for example. You will select the location, you will go next. Uh, okay, so here is some important things like this is the worker, the function. We will select the .NET 8.0, and this is important thing like the function trigger. Each your function will have one trigger. So we will discuss this in detail. Like we have Azure provide different type of trigger. If you say here Azure function triggers, so the basic concept is that each function need a one trigger to start. Without trigger, we cannot start the Azure function. So we will definitely need one trigger to start the execution of the function. Uh, where Azure function can run in parallel. And the other concept is that execution time is vary by the hosting plan we selected. So this is the first trigger, which is mostly used, is the HTTP trigger. It execute via HTTP request. It perfectly suitable for the APIs and webhooks. If you have to do something on an API or webhook, then you can use the HTTP trigger, like it support HTTP methods. The other one is the timer. If you want to do any schedule batch execution, so this will suit you. The timer, it's suppose encode tabs model, so you can create your expression and it will run in a specific schedule. And next is the blob storage trigger. Whenever any blob is created or updated, so based on that you can trigger any Azure function, um, perfect for file processing and like logging, image logging, something like that, up to your requirement. But it work for Azure Blob. Next, the queue storage trigger. If you have messages queue and based on that you want to trigger, you will use this queue storage trigger. And the other one is the event grid trigger. It will work based on the Azure service event. It's used in the event-driven architecture. The other type is the service bus trigger, complex workflow and inter application communication we can use. And the last one is the if you want to work on the Cosmos data DB, so you can use this trigger, Cosmos DB trigger. So you can select, but for this demo, we'll select the HTTP. Uh, So you will select this. Next is the authorization level. Authorization level, if you want to add any authorization to your Azure function, you will select, you can select these options. But for now, we will go without authorization. So we will go anonymous. So once you create, here you can see the function, the actual function that will deploy to the Azure function app. So there is also some app settings, and this is the program that is class. So we will write some code here in this function app1. This is we are passing the Azure logger to log the information. So here we will write one health check function. For example, it will return action result, and we will use the run method. It will run the Azure function, and here you can use the we will use the HTTP trigger, HTTP trigger, HTTP trigger, and we will give some parameter like authorization level will be anonymous authorization level, and it will be a get, and the next variable we will pass the route. So we'll define the route for this function. So this will be the health, for example, this is the route. Next, we will it will be HTTP request, HTTP request, and we'll get this. We will use this variable. So I will remove this auto-generated code. So run trigger anonymous. Okay, so this parameter is completed. Uh, okay, so next we will do some logger. We will log some information. For example, log info, and we'll write here some message. For example, health check function procedures. Okay, so this is some logger information. Next, I will create a response object that will return the health of this function, and I will return that response. So function attribute to this health check. So this will be three. Health check three. This is the function attribute we need it to make this as a function. So we can run this locally. Okay, so you can see here it's running, and this is the path, local path. If I open this in browser, you will see that this app is you can see that it's returned the status and the time. So it's running locally. In next, we'll deploy this to Azure. For example, to publish this to Azure, we will click on right click and publish. Okay, so you will select the Azure. Next, you will select the Azure function app. Once you select, you will see the Azure uh, app uh, resource in your Azure function. You can see here, this is our Azure function app demo, which I created initially. You will select this, and once you select, uh, it will create the publishing profile. Yeah, publishing profile is created. Now you can see here, this is the publishing profile. And once I publish, for example, if you go to publish, it will publish the application in the Azure app. That publishing is succeeded, and we can now access this in Azure. So it's deployed to Azure. So you can see here, the function is now available in the Azure function app. So if you click on this, it will give you the, the detail of that function. This is the function. To get a function URL, you can copy and you can check. So you can see here, this is deployed to Azure, and it's give you the same result. Okay, so I have a few questions for you, like which trigger fit for your use case. You will write this in the comment of this video on YouTube, and how you will organize your function, and what hosting plan meets your need. So this is the question for you. So see you in the next video. Thank you.